A hypocrite, a person that puts on a false appearance of virtue, or a person that acts in contradiction to his or her stated beliefs. I'm making this video today to talk about a man named Prince, who is, in my opinion, the biggest hypocrite on YouTube. He made a video critiquing me, and I wasn't initially gonna make a response video because criticism is criticism, and if I was everyone's cup of tea, I'd be a mug. What I cannot stand is a hypocrite. Over the past few months, while Prince has been making somewhat of a fool of himself, I've been quietly watching and observing. And boy oh boy, Prince, have you been one naughty boy. Before we continue, I have to say, and I mean this more seriously than anything I've ever said on the channel, do not give this man hate. Do not go over to this man's channel. Do not click on this man's videos. It is what he wants. If you have something you want to say about him or about his behavior, leave it in the comment section of this video, because have no doubt he will be watching it and he will be reading them. And it will be much more annoying for him if this video gets lots of traction and people just ignore his. Now, some of you might be worried that I'm giving this man exactly what he wants, but believe me, I am fully confident that I have enough evidence and footage within this video, and I don't think anyone will walk away with a very high opinion of Prince and his behavior after it.
What's up, y'all? My name is Prince, and I'm on a journey to help people find harmony in their life through martial arts, mindfulness practices, and tapping into our own inner power. We're going to look at the problem with Totally Pointless TV. Totally Pointless TV posted a video titled "Fake Master Gets Destroyed by a Student." It featured a clip of Kyron from The Martial Man doing a practice drill with his teacher, Liang Dua. Totally Pointless TV is supposed to be some kind of comedy channel where he makes those gym fail type videos. And that's the thing about Totally Pointless TV, is I don't know if this guy has ever trained in anything. But I am saying that sometimes he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he passes that ignorance on to his audience.
Now let's establish this, okay? My background is entirely in boxing, so I am quite traditional in what I believe is valuable and effective in a fight. But let's push all of that to the side and imagine that my only fighting experience comes from trying to bang my pillow at night. It's a non-argument, because I am not talking about McGregor or Khabib, and I am not commenting over the karate championships where people with genuine skill are demonstrating. I am talking about people that are so blatantly faked that it doesn't require any skill other than a functioning brain. You'll note that throughout this video, despite calling me a liar and saying that I have no idea what I'm talking about, Prince provides absolutely no evidence of these mistakes or these lies that I've made. I've made nearly 50 fake martial arts videos. You would think that there would be an abundance of footage there for him to sift through and just pick out. The reason he doesn't use any of my footage is because it would prove him to be wrong right off the bat. Everything I talk about is so blatantly fake, it does not require any second guessing. There's been one or two mistakes I've made across the 50 videos. I once criticized G-based Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's a very legitimate martial arts, and you best believe that my fan base called me the f*** out for that mistake, as they should. From that, I educated myself, and I haven't made the same mistake since. Why didn't you try to find some actual proof that proves your point? Why didn't you just gather up a bunch of clips and say, here's where he's wrong, this is why he's a liar? Did you not do it, Prince, because you're too lazy to get that information? Or did you not do it because you know that I'm either showing something that is obviously fake or just having light-hearted fun? I'd imagine it's a weird amalgamation of the two. There is one other blatant mistake I made that I want you to take note of in your little diary right now, because I'm going to call back to this at a later point in the video.
So it's like I was saying, a clip of Kyron training with Liang Dua made it in the latest video highlighting what Totally Pointless TV considers fake martial arts, based completely on his own opinion and absolutely zero experience with any of the people that he talks about in his videos.
You have to personally touch or interact with these people to know whether or not what they've done is genuine. This is a very stupid claim that stupid people make to justify their stupid beliefs. You don't need to touch the sun to know it's hot, and you don't need to see oxygen to know it's there to breathe. You don't need to experience Tai Chi to know that when a man throws himself to the floor because their masters move their elbow an inch, that's just fucking fake. Let's pretend I got that brain rot. You're right, Prince. You have to personally experience these artists to know whether or not their demonstration is effective or bullshit. So, have you fought against Jake Paul?
And then people were looking at the victory like, dawg, you knocked out a dude who played in the NBA, but he's like 12 years older than you.
How about Steven Seagal? What, you've personally trained with, fought, and touched Steven Seagal?
Well, we can all agree that Seagal is just like every other really weird martial arts teacher who lies constantly and gets really creepy around women.
You haven't done that? That smells like a hypocrite.
So Kyron claimed the video containing the clip of him and filed a copyright strike against TotallyPointlessTV. This whole thing started a big thing where fans of TotallyPointlessTV started to downvote and leave negative comments on Marshall Man videos. You know, like the same basic keyboard warrior nonsense.
Gather round, kids, cause here be the meat of the video. Prince claims that I'm a bully and a keyboard warrior. This is one of the biggest arguments that Prince makes, and it's where he's the biggest hypocrite. He climbs right up onto his high horse and he tries to sit there like the fucking messiah himself. Well, allow me to take the reins, Prince. All I did was create a video outlining what the Marshall Man done wrong. You have done the exact same thing against me, but because the Marshall Man's actions were wrong and my fans cared, I'm a keyboard warrior and a bully. But because your fans don't really care about what you have to say and you gained no traction for your video, it's completely fine. That is convenient. After failing to get his YouTube community to turn against me, he moved to Twitter to try and get his Twitter followers to beef with me, making like 10 to 12 tweets attacking me. Now let's take a moment to dissect this strategy. I would argue that sitting around on your ass all day, waiting for the algorithm to provide you with already popular content for you to rip off like a parasite isn't really a strategy. It just implies that you're too unintelligent and lack the creativity to think of a cool video idea yourself. Am I being too harsh here? I don't understand why he's parading his own inadequacies around as if it's some pro gamer strat. Prince also has a Star Wars channel with over 60,000 followers, and he tried to get the Star Wars community to turn against me on Facebook. That's right. A grown-ass man was trying to turn the Star Wars community against me by quoting Jedis. You cannot write that shit. But again, it failed. Even the Star Wars community didn't really care. Who the fuck is this guy complaining about a martial arts drama that has nothing to do with Star Wars? But it doesn't end there. You think that's enough? What, trying to get YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Star Wars against me? No, sonny, it doesn't end there. He made 2 separate community posts tagging me, which is fine. It's a bit tragic, a little bit sad. But on the second community post, he tagged both myself and Elliot Hulse in it. Now you might be thinking, that's a little bit strange. Why is he talking about me and then all of a sudden talking about Elliot Hulse? It's almost incoherent. Well, a couple of days before this community post, I made a video talking about how crazy some of the things Elliot Hulse has said and done is. And then all of a sudden, Prince is tagging both of us in a community post in the hopes that Elliot Hulse, a significantly bigger channel than both of us, would join his side in hating on me. And now you might think that that's just complete coincidence if you're a fucking idiot. But for the past 3 months, he has gone onto my channel every single week to steal the names of my martial arts videos to create a playlist on his channel, ripping off my titles and putting his hate video into it. So aside from the sheer tragedy that his life is to have the time to do that, it is incredibly evident that he is fully aware of what videos I've made. So it is an almost impossible likelihood that he coincidentally tagged both of us in a post. But let's get back to the point at hand. This coward accuses me of being a keyboard warrior just because I made a video outlining that someone had falsely claimed my content, which the Marshall Man himself later agreed is the fact, and he has the gall to imply I'm the keyboard warrior. He actually tried to turn any community he could think of against me. The only difference is no one gives a flying fuck what this loser had to say.
And why is it the case that these people always say, you have to prove it to me by going to fight somebody else? I mean, where I'm from, we had a saying for people who basically tried to instigate a fight between 2 other people.
A few moments later.
If the TotallyPointlessTV guy has so much to say about the people in his videos, well, I mean, maybe he should use the money that he's making from his channel to show up at some of these people's seminars and workshops, find out for himself.
No joke is required off the back of that edit. I think that the content there speaks for itself. Total as pointless as TVs is a coward. If he's so brave, maybe he should try to fight him.
Look, you don't have any experience to talk about this stuff with any kind of authority. I mean, I understand that it's all fun and jokes, but the people watching, they don't know that you really have no idea what you're even talking about.
Now Prince is trying to fight an argument that I absolutely never made. Never once have I claimed to be an authority on martial arts. I say my opinions. I say that they're opinions. And if people find them funny, if people agree with them, then that's gravy. If they don't, that's their choice. It just so happens that over 100,000 people do agree with what I have to say, and the vast majority of them have an extremely high amount of very diverse martial arts experience between them. So if everything I was saying was a lie, and if I genuinely had no idea what I was talking about, do you not think the community would have turned against me by now? Because it's funny that everyone that agrees with you on your video talks about, you know, their Grandmaster Wushu being able to start fires with his mind to save Mulan from the fucking Mongolian Empire, and everyone that disagrees with you and agrees with me has years of experience in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, even genuine Tai Chi, agree with what I've said. That's funny, isn't it? Almost coincidental. Da Vinci.
This thing is sort of kind of resolved between these two channels, but like TotallyPointlessTV is...
It's pernickety and it's pedantic, but it bugs me so much that I have to at least mention it. The channel's name is TotallyPointlessTV. I am not saying that I am totally pointless and this is my TV. No, I'm saying this is Totally Pointless TV. Not Totally Pointless as TV, not Total as Pointless TV, it is Totally Pointless TV. If you're going to call someone an idiot and critique them, please just learn how to pronounce their name. Hot toddy. Prince claims that I take things out of context, which is absolutely hilarious because in this segment he proceeds to take what I say out of context and swap out the footage with something that is genuine when I was clearly demonstrating something that is fake.
He is still going on talking about whether or not pushing hands is a legitimate technique.
B. Prove in a court of law that the push hand and chi technique are in fact real.
And I'm watching like, does he not know what a training exercise is?
Pushing hand is like you train with your partner and then you can build up Neigong from that training.
It would be like me watching two wrestlers doing a pummeling drill and saying, man, I don't know about that wrestling stuff. Look at them. It looks like they want to sniff each other's armpits.
I never said Tai Chi or push hands is fake. I very specifically say in my videos that I do not believe Tai Chi is fake. Now, I seem to have done a lot of videos about Tai Chi of late. It's not a conscious decision. I'm not on a holy crusade against Tai Chi. There just so happens to be a big correlation between people claiming to be Tai Chi fighters and Bushido. You see what I've done there, Prince? I provided actual video evidence that proves my case and disproves your argument. I mean, watching that, you'd be thinking, hey, yeah, he's right. Totally Pointless is dumb. Like, push hands is a real thing. And those two kids were demonstrating real push hands. What a fucking idiot. I wasn't talking about Tai Chi and push hands. I was actually responding to a very specific comment on my channel that said the martial man should sue me for slander for saying that his demonstration was fake. I would be surprised if he doesn't get sued for slander in the not too distant future. The action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person. The key point from that being false accusations. False isn't opinion based. For me to get done for slander, he has to A. prove that I knew they were real and chose to ignore it. B. prove in a court of law that the push hand and chi technique are in fact real, which I don't see him doing. I was talking about the instance in reference, which is this footage. Love it or hate it, it was over-exaggerated and faked. Now, I'm not trying to beef Martial Man again, alright? We had our issues. He was a man. He took back the claim and just said, look, I was a bit annoyed at how you had phrased the whole thing. That's what men do. They're honest, they're to the point. Again, I was specifically talking about that instance. What a great job, Prince. Your main argument against me, you evidence through misdirection and deceptive behavior. Someone on the comment section of his video even pointed this out very eloquently, saying if he actually done his research, he would see very quickly that he's mistaken. To which Prince replied, or I could spend that time working on something important to me. It's not important enough for you to research if you're telling the truth, but it's important enough for you to make a 12-minute video, spend 3 months copying the video titles for your own playlist, tag me in 2 community posts, tweet me at least 12 times, and create 3 separate Facebook posts about me. You care enough about me to do that, but not enough to see that your base argument is a lie. This is called Occam's Brutum. It's where an individual brushes away very obvious and blatant facts because they detract from the argument he's trying to make.
I mean, what if I decided for some reason that I don't like an ad from this restaurant that I've never ever visited or eaten at? I've never tasted the food. I've only seen it in an ad that played before a YouTube video. So I go and I leave a negative review. Maybe I make a YouTube video about this place. Don't eat there, their food sucks.
This is a very weak analogy because I'm not forming my opinion based around what someone else has said. I'm forming my opinion based around the footage that that individual has chosen to put forward to the internet to evidence their ability. A better analogy would be if a restaurant uploaded a video of them making a burger, and to make this burger, they take a fat shit between 2 buns and call it the shitty patty. If I'd seen that footage, it would be well within my justification to make a review or to make a video on YouTube saying, hey, this business has shown me that they shit into their burgers. Maybe their burgers would taste like shit. That's a better analogy. Remember earlier when I said I have made a couple of mistakes in my past, being a mere mortal man? Well, one of those mistakes was taking the piss out of a genuine martial artist called Ronald Duncan. I'm about to play my Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card because of all the video clips I've created and talked about. Prince decided to use one of the only genuine martial artists I've covered as a fucking talking point that he agrees that I've talked about fake masters.
Some of this stuff actually is funny, like the old guy who beats up his student with a rolled up magazine.
No, never do that again.
There's a lot of weird stuff that happens in martial arts.
How could you be so ignorant, Prince? What are you, a fucking liar? What are you, a fucking hypocrite? Or perhaps you shouldn't take these videos too seriously. Perhaps just because you're showing a singular entertaining or funny clip to have a laugh about and entertain people, it doesn't mean you're discrediting an entire life of a person. Food for thought. Someone even commented on his video that Ronald Duncan was a real martial artist, to which he just replied like, cool. He doesn't give a fuck. I do want to say though, the segment where he laughed at Ronald Duncan was actually at the beginning of the video, but I have moved it to the midsection because it makes more sense with the flow of my script. Full disclosure.
Because that's what usually happens when you build a channel based completely on sharing other people's content. I'm just saying, if someone sees your fair use criticism as bullying, you will lose your channel. I've seen it happen. It's just something to consider.
To call it stolen content is just fundamentally untrue, as the Martial Man himself agreed with me. So what argument are you trying to make? That I stole content from a man that admits I didn't steal content? But hey, you know, you used 30 seconds of my footage to criticize me in this video of yours. You used all my footage for it. But I'm not claiming your content. I'm not implying that it's theft. That's kind of weird, isn't it? That you're criticizing my video format while making the exact same type of video with the exact same type of video format. But again, let's just ignore the facts. Hey, I'm an easygoing guy. I'm a fair man. I'll ignore the facts for you on account of you being a genius. So what you're saying is you recorded all the footage from the Jake Paul fight? Is that what you're saying? How about the clips of Steven Seagal? Are you implying that you recorded all of that footage yourself? What about the Mortal Kombat review you done, Where you steal segments of Mortal Kombat to give your review? Because it's funny how when you take other content for the purpose of fair use to criticize or talk about, it's a real good thing. But when I do it, I'm a content thief. Yes, I'm aware I stole the exact same joke from earlier, but if his arguments are going to be so feeble and pathetic that I can reuse the exact same joke to discredit both of them, I'ma do it. Wee woo, wee woo. This is your second reminder not to visit this channel and give it hate. The man wants you to do that. When he's not making up lies, He loves to play the victim. He gets a kick out of it. He likes the people that do listen to him to think that he is a very wise, hard done by man. There's no better example than when he went to Twitter to claim that he was being threatened with physical violence just because he expressed his opinions about me. That's really horrible, Prince. Why would anyone threaten you with violence just because you expressed your opinion about them? Well, of course, the chain he was referring to I found, where he called someone an anorexic fighter just because they said I had better content than him. That's pretty nasty, Prince, you know? Looking at someone's channel and insulting their physical appearance just because they prefer my content. You were sure to leave that part out of your Twitter post, weren't you? That's great manipulation, son. Just imply you're being threatened for no reason. Don't bring up the fact that you made an ad hominem remark about his physical appearance. It also looks as if he deleted the tweet after I called him out for it. I wasn't even going to include it because I didn't have proof of the initial tweet, but if Prince is just going to make up all this bollocks without even justifying it with evidence, you can at least take my word that he did do the initial tweet. So the question is, why did Prince make this video in the first place? Every single point he makes contradicts himself through his own actions. He admits himself multiple times in the comment section that he just wanted to hate on the video to get a reaction from my fans. He also had someone call him out for having a bunch of ads on the video, to which he replied that he didn't place the ads, YouTube did, because I have a UK viewership which pays the best money. That's a straight up lie. It's almost entirely US based. He just heard my accent and made up a lie. It's comical and completely menial. It just goes to show how willing he is to make up some random ass lie to try and justify his actions. Now the final point I want to make about the actual video, he tries to be humorous by just hard cutting in bad, just out of place jokes, just ramming them right into the middle of the sentence he's saying.
But I mean, until that happens, this guy is nothing but a paper tiger to me. Just like the people watching his videos and coming off like experts in the comments section on other folks' channels. They're all tigers with no claws and no teeth. Just a bunch of pussycats who are making a lot of noise.
Which actually ends up making the video very disconnected and jarring. I've seen your every move. You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you've been found wanting. Your biggest problem, Prince, is that you think everyone is far dumber than you, which I can assure you is not the case. Criticism can be a great thing. It can be used to highlight stupidity and bad behavior and encourage people not to repeat the same mistakes. But if you're going to be critical, if you're going to get up on your high horse, you have to make damn sure that your own morals, your own beliefs, and your own actions correlate to the point you're trying to make. Otherwise you come across as a hypocritical lying sack of shit. He's a very sensitive, manipulative man that feels the need to reply to absolutely any criticism he receives by outright insulting them or just saying something dumb. That isn't the behaviour of a Zen man. I thought long and hard about how I wanted to end this ballad. After a long bit of soul searching, I decided not to end this video with my words of hatred, but instead with my words of thanks. My thanks to YouTube. My 100,000 creator reward is in the post, and it should be here with 1 to 2 weeks. 100,000 beautiful, loyal subscribers in just 1 year. If you keep going, Prince, I'm sure you'll get there. 8 years isn't that long, really, in the grand scheme of things. Peace, bish!